Hello everyone, Isabella Grace here for Hunting the Silver Lining. And hunting the silver lining is going to be different for different people. And when I say that, obviously I'm referring to trying to find the good in a difficult situation, the sun shining through the clouds of a dreary day. And trying to see how the light is coming through the window. So what I want to talk about is this is what I'm struggling to recalibrate the difference between who I am, which is a hypersensitive, deeply devoted to being good, honest, and authentic person who's also, I almost wanted to say tragically empathic, but very, very intensely empathic with how the world actually works and how the overwhelming majority of the people actually function on a personal level, even when they do care. So we're not even going to talk about the actual devils of the world, but compared to the hypersensitivity and deep, profound, genuine desire that I have to be a good person in my interactions and influence on others, and just the average good, I would say even 80 to 100% of the other good people that actually would care, it's like they're sociopaths in direct comparison to the hypersensitivity of my empathy and my desire to be good and true and honest and authentic and want love and loving relationships. So one of the things that dawned on me was that if everyone's on a spectrum and we'd have to sort of slide ourselves a certain way in order to have symmetry with someone or better balance ourselves internally, emotionally, socially, intellectually, with sort of the manner that we understand and experience as good for approaching the world and interacting with people versus just being random and or just expecting everyone to be the way you are, which never gonna happen ever, ever, ever. So sad, right? There's never gonna be other people like us completely surrounding us if you are an empath and if you are profoundly driven to be authentic and good and have a positive effect on others and want that for yourself. But what happened for me, and I think a lot of other people, and everyone's at a different level on the spectrum. It's almost like a spectrum of autism or a spectrum of authenticity. Some people more, some people less. A spectrum of introversion or extroversion. So what I'm talking about is like this constant sliding of scales within and without. How attempting to become a happy person and an effective person. And what the thing that I'm trying to get at is I'm starting to realize that according to what my perception of the world is and how I really am and how different that is, I'd have to slide the scale to become closer to, not to become, but to be more so what I would consider sociopathic. And what I mean by that is I don't mean in some psychotic episode or type of a thing, but what I mean is having less of a conscience regarding others and the best interests of others and the feelings and comforts and wishes and wants of others, and being more sociopathic because that's what I'm seeing from people. Elements that I would consider sociopathic, like just genuine, complete disregard for others. Unless they want something from you, then they're really nice all of a sudden. And after they get it, it's right back to you where you are not even a human. You don't exist. And I've had this happen so much in my life. And considering that I'll be 50 in a handful of months, the whole point of this discussion and the discussions I'm attempting to have is how to be a happy person with who you really are. And it's the massive contrast, the difference between who you really are, who I really am, and who the world is. And I know that there are millions of other people just like me. And I think we have to become cooler and calmer and more strategic. And I think it's easy to say that, and and you can get all I can get all confident, and I can be cold, and I can be harsh, I can be vicious when cornered, and and dangerous when I'm enraged. But can't we also, what does that really mean? But my normal operating system is I'm willing to bend over backwards to make everyone happy around me, including all the strangers, just so that we can all get along. But I realize I'm the only one putting in that degree of consciousness to even notice it, number one, care to do anything about it, and three, actually give energy to it. And when you keep on doing that and you find yourself sort of crestfallen and heartbroken and disappointed over and over, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic heartbreak. I mean, the feeling of you thought you were building something great, and it wasn't real for the other person. And I could just be talking about a friendship or a little business deal. It doesn't have, it's not all, it's in the essence of romanticizing everything. I want everything so wonderful. That's not going to happen, but I'm still going to work for it, because what the heck am I on earth for otherwise? I want to be happy. And I just don't think that people like us who are this empathic and desirous of being good and doing the right thing, I don't think we can be ourselves around other people. And I hate that I'm saying that, because it goes against one of my core desires, which is, and drives and beliefs, is to be authentic. So I'm curious to know what other people think, and how do you keep on riding the ship when you've gone off course and been too sensitive, too tender, too open, too accommodating in whatever manner to others. That's backfired. You've been hurt. You felt disrespected, slighted, or you could have catastrophically lost everything. Could have lost everything in a business deal. Could have lost everything in a relationship, a friendship. So it's about this general dynamic, and I'm seeking and hunting. How do I be more Machiavellian, And I don't, for anyone who's going to fight that, it's like, look, if you don't get it, that's cool. But there's people that are going to get what I'm saying, because what I'm talking about is a real experience of how in real life you can succeed without becoming a monster or a constant victim. We have to slide that scale from empath to slightly more, what are the modern terms for it? Antisocial. I don't know what they're calling it these days. And I don't mean antisocial in not wanting to socialize. I mean in not being completely devoted to pleasing others. And everyone who's not like that is like, oh, that's just so stupid. Like, get over it. But no, how do you get over? I'm freckled. How do I get over being freckled? So that's the same thing as being an empath. How do I get over? I am one. How do I adapt? And I just find that I have to be more sociopathic. I have to focus more on, Sun Tzu and Machiavelli, and I resist going into that. And Stoicism, super useful. Now that's the most useful thing I've come across so far. The issue with that is the heart wants what the heart wants. You eventually find a moment or a person or a situation or a place that you really want to invest your heart in, and you can't do that all the way, not if you want to stay stable and sane. So anyone who has any advice or comment on this, if you've learned something and have some wisdom you think you could share and we could all learn together, please do. I would appreciate it so much. I hope that you're blessed. May the universe conspire in your favor. And see you again next time. Much love. Bye-bye.